I'm going to make an Easter egg image using Sumo Paint, so I'm going to click on the link to Sumo Paint. Sumo Paint will open up an image file for me, but I don't want this one because this one has a white background. We want a transparent background. So if I go to File and click on New Image, and we'll call it Eggs. We'll leave this size because we can crop the image at the end, but the background must be transparent. Okay, and you can see the difference between the two images. So I don't need that one, I can close that one, and I'll maximize this one to fill the screen. Okay, and we're ready to start. Right, we're going to paint an egg, but we're going to use the circle tool. So click on the circle tool, and then we're going to go up to the fill, and if you click the drop down arrow you can see it will fill it with this, and if I click there on the gradients I can choose the gradient. So I'll just choose this purple one. Okay, also go up to adjustments. I'll actually go to layer and go to layer effects, and we want a bevel effect, so make it look a little bit 3D. Okay, so we've got the bevel switched on and we'll say OK. Right, and the line opacity, I'm going to take it right the way down to 0 so that there is no line on the egg. Right, and now we're going to draw the egg. Okay, and just make it into an egg shape, and you see there's no line around it, and release. You then click the select. You can move the egg to wherever you want it in your image. Right, we're going to do another egg, but before we do that we're going to click on new layer. So each egg is going to be on a new layer. Again, click on the circle, change the fill. I will just choose the blue one this time. Okay, and we'll draw another egg. And click on select, and we can move that egg down to there. And I'm just going to do one more to make sure the bevel effect is still on. Yep, okay. And this time when I go to the fill, I'm going to click the drop down menu, choose the colours that I want. In fact, what I'm going to do is go to pattern up here, fill type pattern, and you can choose a shape that will fill the egg, and you can then choose two colours. So at the moment it's black and white, but perhaps we'll choose red. Say OK, that will be the foreground colour, and then you choose the background colour. So I'll choose yellow, and there we go, and we'll say OK for that. And then now when I draw my egg, you can see it has a sort of pattern fill. Okay, and then the bevel effect will come, and I'll move that down there. And you carry on. Oh, made two there, just to undo that. You can carry on. Ah, I forgot to make a new layer. So I'm going to delete that egg, make a new layer first, so each egg is on a new layer. Now I'm going to click on the circle and do the egg, make sure it doesn't go off the side, and then click on the select tool and move that one down. And you can carry on making several eggs. I'll just do one more. Oops, new layer first, and circle, change the fill. Perhaps we'll get the twirly one first now, and then we'll change the colours. So I'll have a green one. Okay, and in fact we'll make the background green. I think background can be green, and the foreground can be purple. There we go. Okay, so I'll draw that egg out now, and you can change the size of course and move them around. Right. Now making them in layers means that I can alter the position. So if I wanted the blue one to be behind this pink one, I can click on the blue, select that layer in order to move it. I can move it along there. I can then select the pink one, background, and I can move that along like that. Right, now I still want the blue to go to the back, so what I have to do is move the layer to the bottom, so it's at the bottom of the layer. So I'll just move that under there, and you can now see that that is underneath. Okay, and you have to select each layer in order to move it. So to move that one up a little bit, I just move it there, select that layer in order to move them along, and select that one to there. Now I'm just going to make one more, and of course I can make it that shape so that it looks as though it's lying down. Okay, we'll change that to blue. Okay, and perhaps the bottom one can be red. We'll have a nice red egg. Okay, red background. Okay, just change the pattern because we've used that pattern. Perhaps we'll have this flower. Okay. Oops, didn't mean to do that, so I'm just going to delete that one. I'm also going to delete this one. Actually, I'll rub that one out because I forgot to put it on a new layer. Very easy to forget to get the new layer, so I'll rub that one out using the eraser tool. New layer first before I do the new egg, which is going to be lying on its side. Okay, I'll move that one down there. Well, what I'm going to do now is put a background. So I'm going to get a shape. I'm going to get a new layer. I'm going to get a rounded rectangle. Again, I'm going to choose a colour, but I'm just going to choose a plain one this time. So I'll go to a gradient fill. Perhaps we'll have something like that. Ooh, maybe that. Let's have a look. Something like that. Maybe choose the colour. I'm going to get a greeny one. That's fine. Let's have a look. And now I'm going to just draw a background for my eggs like that. And I'll put it right behind. Of course, what's happened is it's at the top because it's a layer laying on top of everything else. So what I need to do is to drag it and move it all the way down to the bottom so it's then behind the eggs. Right, we're going to add another layer now and add some text. I'm going to get the text, get a text box, and I'm just going to write Happy Easter in there. Spell it right, Happy Easter. I'll have a capital H maybe. Okay, I'm going to select the text, and then you can do the font size. So I can just change it. I can choose a font. Let's have a look what we've got. I'm going to choose one that's called Happy. That's quite nice. Okay, and I can choose the colour. Something that's going to stand out. Let's have the yellow on top of the green. We can always change it later anyway. Okay. Right, and that's what that text looks like. Just click select and you'll see it. And because it's on its own layer, I can grab it and I can move it down. Now what I do want to do is go to layer effects and make it so the text is also beveled, so that it stands out a little bit like that. Now if I wanted to move it down and rotate it, I would have to use this tool here, which is the transform and rotate tool. I'm going to put a box around that. What I can now do is grab the corners and I can actually rotate them like that. So I can actually move it down. That will help me rotate it, or I can actually sort of transform it as well by just moving the different shapes like this. It's okay. But that looks quite nice there anyway. Okay, that's your card finished. What you then do is file, Save it as, oh, I'll just crop it first of all, because obviously we don't want all of this. So I'm going to grab the crop tool, just crop the area that I want to keep. There we go. And that's what we need. And there's your completed Easter card. I'm going to go File, Save to my computer, and we're going to save it as a PNG so that the area around the card is transparent. And here we go, save to my computer. Save it as a PNG. And save, I'm just going to put it on my desktop for now. And you then have that picture ready to insert into your documents.